Today we solder up some digital interfaces, and for that I need digital interfaces. I've got the Toads DI and the Toads DI6. We're going to put the pin headers and the pin sockets on, and I need a soldering station. And this is my Pine Sill soldering station. It is USB-C powered, but if that offends you, then it is also DC barrel jack powered. However, when I power this thing up by USB-C, prepare to be amazed. That's just so fast. We're ready to go. With that, I've got all the rest of the stuff that I need. So let's first off get these things up and mobile. If you are solder averse, solder afraid, solder new, whatever, first off, this is a great kit for you to learn and practice and play on. But second, this is also something that you don't have to do, you know? So if I now offer this as a service, get my solder here ready. So if you don't want to do this, then I can do it for you. And it is $25 for up to 4 of them as of the time of this recording. It's easy enough to do, but sometimes that price makes it cheap enough that it is worth it to have somebody else do it for you. So I have got one corner done, and I want to verify that it is flush to the board and everything looks good, and it does. So now I can do the rest of them. Real quick, before we get too far away, I kind of told you what I was doing, but I didn't show you what I was doing. You see how this is all askew here? I only put one pin in at first out of the humongous amount of pins that are there. And the reason I do that is I can now take my finger and hold it in place while I'm holding the rest of the board, and I can heat that one pin up and push it back into place. And now I have, you know, my third hand that was missing before when I needed to do that, and we're all straight. So one pin first, verify that it looks good, and then put the rest of them in. Because once you get them all in, there is a way to take it out. It's just a lot more of a pain in the butt to take all of them out than it is to just fix that one and get everything lined up. And now it's holding itself in place, and we're good to go with the rest of them. If you need to do more than 4 boards, in this case I'm doing 4 DI6s and 4 DIs, the 6 pins being for the Yaesu, Kenwood, and ICOM radios, and the DIs being for the, you know, whatever radio that you want to put it in. We do have 8 pins for the Xiegu radios and so on, but in this case you have to do a 2-pack because there's technically 8 solder jobs going on, and the 1-pack includes up to 4, and the second one includes the second 4. So what does this thing do, just in case you're new and haven't seen any of the information about this in the last year or two that it has been out? What this thing here does is allows your older radios that don't have built-in sound cards to get onto digital modes. There's a variety of ways to do it. I first started out by having a USB sound fob, putting a whole bunch of candy and stuff on top of it to make it work, and that's actually really hard to do. I'll show you in just a second here. That is, oh, that one right there didn't get enough solder. Check your work. There we go. Looks pretty good overall. I'm going to give this one here a little bit more also. Yep, there we go. That looks great. In order to put all the candy on the sound fob, you've got to be able to solder pins that are that small and that close together with wires that you have to hold all at the same time. I couldn't do it. I'm not professing to be the best soldering person in the world, but also I couldn't do it. You know, it just wasn't worth doing compared to buying these circuit boards instead, because, you know, at the end of the day, they all cost the same anyway. Another thing you might want to run into, which I couldn't do if I was trying to do, is a solder bridge. But when you're not trying to do it, it's really easy to make one by accident. So the first thing I do when I run into something like that is I clean off the tip of my soldering iron, and then I just do a quick swipe through between the pins, and now it's created a second solder bridge. Might not be able to see it from one angle. It's hard to see for me from this angle, but I can see it clearly from that angle. And you just wipe between the pins on the circuit board itself. There are lots of ways to clean these. There's lots of ways to create these, and it's not the end of the world if you do it. You can pretty much fix almost any mistake you make when you solder. There are some that are unrecoverable from, but it's going to be really hard to do with modern circuit boards. I'm going to solder up the rest of these off camera, and then I'm going to get them all tested out, and we'll show you how they work. And I'm going to test it with an Allstar image because it's easy enough, and Allstar is pretty cool. Also, Allstar tests out the carrier-operated squelch function. So you can do FT8 with these guys, you can do Allstar, obviously, you can do APRS, you can do PSK31, you can do keyboard to keyboard Morse code or keyboard to fist Morse code if the other side is using their fist instead of a computerized type deal. Any sound card mode, even FreeDV, Any sound card ham radio mode you can do with this by connecting it up to your computer using the 6-pin connector. And once it's all done, you can get a case like this to hold the 6-pin DI6. And this is a special edition that Freddie Mac makes where it's black with green letters. And it's the exact same case for the DI8, which works for the Xiegu radios and fits right in there. And that looks pretty good. And if you want to get really crazy, buy 2 cases and switch the doors. And I know Freddie Mac just kind of rolled over and tweaked a little bit when he saw me do this, because, you know, that's not the way it's supposed to be. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to get these soldered, then we're going to get them tested. I'll be back and show you that they work. Soldering is all done. Let's give them a test fit. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All good. So now I've got my Allstar test station set up. This right here is my Raspberry Pi that's controlling the Allstar Node itself. That's actually the software, the heart of it, the whole thing. The Toads DI that we just built. And then this is my Baofeng, so I can talk into and out of my ICOM radio. And the whole thing is connected through that 6-pin interface. Can we see it? Which is plugged into the back of the radio right there. So without changing any settings on anything, let's give her a test. KM9G testing 1, 2, 3.
Audio level is pretty good.
Pretty good.
KM9G testing 1, 2, 3.
Excellent. I love it. That's all 4 units tested. There we go. So that was testing under Allstar, but obviously this will work with APRS or FT8 or any other sound card mode. And also, if you decide you want to get one of the AIOCs instead, I can get those soldered up for you as well. Same deal, $25 for up to 4. So if you do 1, it's 25. If you do 2, 3, 4, it's 25. If you do 5, it's a second set of 25. So there's a little bit of a threshold there. And I'll get it all done for you, get it all cleaned up. My workbench will be a mess with solder and solder station and stuff, and yours will not. If you want to know how I got the Allstar Node all configured with this ICOM ID 880, ICOM 880H, what a crazy name, ICOM 880H radio, then I will leave that video for you right over here. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.